9/11.
Yibo.
What do you know about 9/11?
What I know about 9/11 is that two massive planes crashed into massive buildings like that.
Yep.
And people died. A lot of people died.
May they so rest in peace.
Yep.
Yeah. So September 11, we all know it as 9/11, 9/11. So they say it was a terrorist attack by the Al Qaeda, the one and only Al Qaeda.
Mm.
The Al Qaeda terrorist attack on America.
Mm. Mm.
But was it really a terrorist attack?
No, I also don't think this shit was planned.
That shit was planned. It was planned, man.
Planned.
But just to brief you more about why you think and I think it was planned, like the Twin Towers. One of them is the World Trade Center, of New York. The owner of the World Trade Center filed for maximum insurance 6 weeks prior, I think, before the crash of the plane.
So he knew that the planes are going to crash into the building.
Yep, he knew. But there's more crazy stuff. There's more crazy stuff. The owner of the World Trade Center used to eat, like he eats his breakfast every morning at the buildings, but on that day he didn't eat it there. He didn't eat it there. Like he knew that shit's about to go down there. And they were unidentified short cells. Like they knew like some shit is going to happen. Yeah, people went short cells. Some even pulled out on their investment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people made money.
Yeah, a lot of people made millions. A lot of people reacted the right way to that, but at the same time, a lot of people were sacrificed. We should understand it that way too. So, and yeah, what's more funny is that the news broadcaster CNN was there before the planes crashed into the buildings. It's like they were tipped off, like this is about to go down. Just be ready to like take a video of it, like to broadcast it live and all of that. Like, what the fuck is going on in the world? So, yeah. So, and in the crash investigations, like when they were investigating it, like it was two passenger airlines.
Yeah.
Two passenger airlines. And they said it was hijacked in the air, so that means it had passengers in it. So, what abnormal about all of that is that only the two terrorist passports were found. The other passports of the passengers, I don't. They burned into ashes, but except for the two Al Qaeda terrorist attackers. How is that possible? How is that possible? Because if you can try to like back it up and like say they were sitting in the cockpit, that's why the cockpit is in front of the plane, so the plane crashed first with the cockpit, so it should be destroyed too. What was abnormal about the plane crashing into the building was the speed that the plane was caught in. Like radars caught the speed of the plane over 500 miles per hour, which is impossible. It's impossible for a plane to fly at that speed, at that altitude. It's impossible because if when a plane is flying like 30,000 feet high, it can fly like almost about five. It can fly 500 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Which is normal because of the high altitude at that at that at that height.
Yeah.
So when the plane decreases, the speed must decrease accordingly, or the plane will be destroyed because of the air pressure and the low altitude near the sea level. So the plane that crashed into the towers was clocked by radars over 500 miles per hour, which is abnormal. It's really abnormal. It's impossible.
So, so the plane was not destroyed.
No, the plane was not destroyed. If you fly at that altitude, the plane would have destroyed itself. It would have like crushed into pieces or something. I don't know.
Clearly, it was a rocket, a jet, or
Yep, yep. That's what I think too. Clearly, it was a military jet or a rocket
mm,
because of that speed. And what else was funny is that the way the buildings collapsed. The way the buildings collapsed. I'll show you a video of a building collapsing, a normal building.
yeah.
Look at this building. This is a normal building collapsing.
Mm.
You see, it tilts to the side a bit and also hits the near buildings around it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look at the Twin Tower collapsing. Look at the Twin Tower collapsing. It collapses vertically down. And what's funny, it turned into dust before it even hit the ground.
Damn.
And one thing you should know, the Twin Tower buildings were made mostly of steel.
Of steel.
Yeah, of metal. And a small percentage of it was like glass and cement. The cement surely for the four slabs.
Yeah.
But
So it was made specifically for this event,
yeah,
so that
yeah.
when the plane crashes, the building won't have to
Exactly.
destroy the buildings around.
Exactly. And what's funny, they've been predicting this crash, this 9/11, like 500 years ago. So like it's like they 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 built this building to accommodate the 9/11
Yeah.
event. You see? So and what's funny about this building, like it turning into dust, like steel can bend, steel can bend, it can even break, but come on, turning into dust, deteriorating into dust, like come on, man, come on, man. We not that stupid. We really not that stupid. We really not that stupid. And one thing, talking about predicting it 5 years prior, bro, like you know the saying of they put the truth in plain sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. They will put it there. And there's another saying that the best way to hide something is to not hide it at all. Is just keep it around. Yeah. Yeah. So things like cartoons were predicting this, like logos and everything. But let's start with the McDonald's logo that was published 20 2001.
Mm.
Look at it. The Twin Towers, the planes
Oh,
flying towards the building.
how could they have known?
They planned it.
So this logo came out 2001, right?
Yeah, early 2001, and then September, this happened.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's not only it. I want to show you cartoons from back in the
Damn.
from back in the days. I want to show you cartoons from back in the days. First of all, we know the Simpsons. We just know the Simpsons. They just predict everything. They predicted Trump being president. They predicted Kobe's death with the helicopter and everything. Yep. So I want you to look at this 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 picture of the Simpsons. You see Bart's sister holding up a magazine with with the number 9 on it. But when you look behind, what do you see?
The two buildings.
Yeah, the Twin Towers. And try to see what does this implement. There's a 9 and we have the two towers at the back.
9/11.
9/11. The two towers act as 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
9/11. It's a 9/11. So, and we have this comic book from Spider-Man from 1991. What is happening to the building?
Fuck. Fuck.
And then we have another comic book from 1993. Look at the background. What do you see there?
Two planes crashing
Into the Twin Towers. And then we have the Sesame Street cartoon, with the way we have the caption is "Monsters on the Loose" from 1976. What is the monster attacking?
Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers. And then we have this album cover of the Super Tramp from 1979. You see the background there? We have the two buildings.
Yeah.
We have the two buildings. Look at the last letters of the last huge letters of they flipped it around there, so it's written Super Tramp, but they flipped it around, so it's written Super Tramp like this. So when you read Super Tramp in like reversed, look at that letter. That P flipped around is a 9, and then those two U equals what? 9, 11. And one thing that I didn't realize. Look at the, what do you call this? The Liberty State, the Statue of Liberty, and it's a lady holding a torch. Look where the torch is. On the building, right on the building.
People are crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. So that's what is happening in the world. They will do anything just to get their agenda. Okay. They'll really do anything for their agenda to be like took into action.
Shit, like, bro, there's signs everywhere.
There's signs everywhere, bro. From 500 years ago.
Imagine 500 years.
500 years ago, they predicted this. So these kind of things, like for 9/11, what I think it was like based on, they just wanted a reason, like an excuse to attack Muhammad Gaddafi, because of what Muhammad Gaddafi was trying to do. He was trying to make Africa strong again. When Africa is strong again, the dollar is weak. So we know, like, they know, like, Muhammad Gaddafi for like attacking like America with bombs and everything, but it wasn't Muhammad Gaddafi. They were just trying to like look for an excuse to kill Muhammad Gaddafi for him trying to make Africa strong again. So it wasn't Muhammad Gaddafi who attacked the Twin Towers. It was the U.S. themselves, and for that they sacrificed the people that were in the buildings. So talking about sacrificing people, it might have been not about Gaddafi. It might have been they wanted to make a shift in the financial sector of the world.
Because a lot of people
made money, made millions.
A lot of people were sacrificed.
Yeah, a lot of people were sacrificed. You know how you play a game of chess. You sacrifice. You use the pawns as bait just to get to the king or the queen or the bishop of your opponent. So to the world leaders, to the world elites, we are like pawns to them. So they can just use us as bait to get whatever they want. So that's it. Just like the COVID-19. COVID-19 wasn't real. COVID-19 wasn't real. It wasn't real at all. And what makes it crazy is that the president of the 3 countries that didn't allow vaccines into their country were killed. But that's a topic for another video. Anyway, this is your boy K. This is your boy Cat. And this is Unwanted Facts TV. My nigga was still shocked to me. God.